This is Hockey Talk, episode number 7, where we talk about everything hockey. We are recording on April the 25th, 2024, and I am John.
And I'm Mike.
Okay, Mike, let's go. Now, the first topic this evening, Mike, is Elias Pettersson of the Vancouver Canucks. I was watching the game Tuesday night between the Canucks and the Predators, and Pettersson looked really crappy. I'm sorry, Mike, but he's shooting when he probably should be passing. Looked like he was passing when maybe he should be shooting. I believe he basically missed an empty net at one point. Now, in the regular season, Mike, Pettersson had 89 points and was a plus 20 in the regular season. Now, can Pettersson regain his confidence? Because, it doesn't look like he has any. And as of game 2 in the series, he has 0 points and is a -4. So nowhere's near the Pettersson of the regular season. What do you think, Mike? Can this guy regain his form before it's too late?
I think he can. A player that's that talented, you don't just lose it. I think Vancouver might change the lines up a little bit, perhaps, to try to get him going. We'll see. I think the next game they're playing tonight, correct?
No, it's not tonight. I think it's
tomorrow night.
tomorrow.
Right. So I think they might change their lines up a little bit. I think the more concerning things with Vancouver is Elias Lindholm hasn't really been a great fit for that team, unfortunately. So if they can get him going and Pettersson going, it'll go a long ways to help them out. But I think it's just a matter of time. Pettersson will have a game and he'll go out and get a couple of points and he'll be back on track. So I'm not too worried about him.
Okay. Well, we did a little vote basically at my work, and there were some people at my work that are picking the Canucks to win the Stanley Cup. And I think that's fair. Are the Canucks so good that it doesn't matter how Pettersson does? Are they just going to win anyway? Are they that good?
I don't think they are good enough to win the cup. I think that there's more talented teams that are in their conference that I think they're going to have enough of a hard time getting through. Right now, Nashville, like, they finished the season strong and they've continued on in the playoffs. So I think Nashville's going to give them their hands full here on this series as it is.
Right. And Nashville plays more of a defensive style, and their goalie plays really well. That can bode well in the playoffs. So I want to also ask you now, we're talking about the goalie here, Thatcher Demko. I know he's looks like he's out for the series. So I don't know what the heck happened to him, but is Casey DeSmith good enough to lead the Canucks to victory? Is he just not good enough? Because he doesn't look as good to me. What do you think?
I do not think he's good enough to lead them to victory. However, I'm not saying that they can't win. I think that the team really needs to step their game up because they're going from getting above average goaltending to borderline average goaltending. So in order for them to win this series, they're all going to have to play a lot better, and Dave Smith's going to have to make some big saves. He didn't look great the last game, so it's going to be a tougher series than what I was thinking it was going to be at the start of the series, obviously, because with Demko going down, it's going to be quite the battle the rest of the way. I wouldn't be shocked if Nashville won. I still think Vancouver has the talent to pull it out. It's just a matter of if they can get all their guys to step up to make up for what they're missing out on in nets.
Okay, fair enough, Mike. Well, our second topic for tonight, and I want to go to the Eastern Conference a little bit here. I want to talk about the New York Rangers. They're up 2-0 against the Capitals. They won the first two games. The first one was 4-1. Second one 4-3. So the second one was definitely closer. Are the Rangers the cream of the Eastern Conference? Can anyone stop these guys? And yes, I know there's people out there that are going to say, come on now, the Washington series is not over yet. Yes, I understand. But it just seems like the New York Rangers have all the pieces to make a deep run. Do you think they can make a deep run here?
I think they do. I think what's going to happen there is that division's going to come down to the Rangers and the Hurricanes. It's going to be a good battle. I think both of those teams are going to win their series. Can they win the East? Yeah, I think they can, but I mean, I picked Florida, and I'm going to stick with Florida. I think it's going to be Florida and Boston in the other division, as I had said earlier in a previous episode.
Right,
So I think those are going to be the final four in the East. But they're four high end teams, so any of them could win. It wouldn't be a surprise if any of them did.
right,
They're all very talented, and it's just going to come down to who gets hot at the right time. I'm still going to stick with Florida though, but I do think the Rangers are going to win this series. I wouldn't be shocked. Like I said, as I said before, I think 4 games, maybe 5 if the Capitals get lucky.
right. And I believe that Ovechkin and his line mates, I don't think they have any points in those 2 games. I believe that's correct. I could be wrong there, but I believe that's the way it's going anyway. So let's get on to our third topic, and let's go over some of our picks, some of our other picks from where we left off talking about the playoffs. I want to start with the Eastern Conference. Now, we already talked about the Rangers a little bit. They're leading 2-0 against the Capitals. You said the Rangers, and you said it's going to be a quick series. I mean, this prediction is looking good. Is there anything else you wanted to say about the Rangers and the Washington Capitals?
The Rangers just have them out talented in all areas of the game, offense, defense, and goaltending. So,
Right,
I'm not surprised that the series is 2-0. And I think, like I said, it's going to be a quick series, 4 or 5 games at the most, and they'll move on. And uh, I anticipate they'll be playing the Hurricanes in the next round.
okay, well then that leads me to the next one, which is the Hurricanes against the Islanders. The Hurricanes are up 2-0.
Yeah.
I stupidly said that the Islanders might win in 7. Mike, your prediction is looking pretty good. Mine's looking pretty crappy. Is there anything else you wanted to say about the Hurricanes and the Islanders?
Well, I mean, the Islanders, they started game 2 off really well.
A 3-0
And
lead,
then
wasn't it?
it was, yeah, I think they were up 3-0. And then, then it was all Carolina after that. And I think the Carolina team is too talented, like the same thing as the Rangers in all aspects when you compare them to the Islanders. I do think the Islanders are going to put Sorokin in next game. I don't see Varlamov playing the next game, and you might not see him again in the rest of the series unless Sorokin gets smoked
Pummeled.
pretty badly. But
All right, all right. Well, let's go on to the next series. Then it's the Panthers are up 2-0 over the Lightning. Maybe a bit of a surprise. I know the Panthers are good. I mean, these games have been close, though.
right,
You're looking pretty good here. What you were saying about it, you were cautious about the Lightning, but you liked. I believe you said you liked Panthers here. What do you think about this?
uh, two very evenly matched teams, I find, in pretty much all aspects. I do think that offensively, a slight edge to Florida. And as far as offense from the defense, they might have a little bit of a slight edge as well. I mean, the uh, the Lightning have Hedman. They're missing Sergachev,
Yeah.
which is a big part. So they're kind of relying guys that would be more of a second line players to give them top line results from the defensive point of view. And I think that that's where Florida has a bit of an edge. And the goaltending, it's pretty even. If I was picking who would I want in nets for a team, I would pick Vasilevsky. However, Bobrovsky's not much lower than Vasilevsky in my opinion. I mean, the save that he made in that last game,
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
was pretty unbelievable. And I mean, with Florida limiting the amount of power plays that Tampa has gotten has made a big difference. Because if they start going to the penalty box, that's where Tampa can really turn it around. So,
Right. And you talked about that last week, how important it was to stay out of the penalty box against Tampa
yeah,
because their power play is smoking good, or it was in the regular season anyway. So
yeah.
very important to stay out of the box against Tampa with the best power play in the league. So, all right. And finally, the last spot in the Eastern Conference, Boston leads the darn Toronto Maple Leafs, which I was really hoping was going to win last night so I could brag a little bit. They're up 2-1 against the Leafs. Mike, what do you think about this? You picked Boston. I picked Toronto because, of course, I would. I'm picking from my heart. You're picking from your head. What do you think?
Still think it's Boston's series to lose. I mean, it doesn't help that Nylander's been out. It's a big part of
Yeah,
Toronto's
yeah,
offense, which, when we first were analyzing the series, we weren't aware that Nylander was going to miss any time because he didn't miss any time in the regular season
right. He
towards
played
the
the
end.
last game,
So
so
that that's got to have some effect on the team. The goaltending, it's kind of what I was anticipating out of Samsonov. He's either hit or miss. So, I mean, he had a good game too, but the first
he
game and the
did.
third game were a little bit uneven. If Boston can continue to do their goalie rotation, and I know that people are probably saying they should put Swayman in. He won 2 games. They should stick with him. I really think they should still continue on with the goalie rotation because it works for them. I mean, if
Right.
they change it up, who knows? I'm not saying it won't work, but I like the goalie rotation on that team. It seems to work well. So
Well,
we
I'm
shall see.
hoping. I'm hoping they don't rotate their goalies. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I mean, Swayman's been hot, so I mean, they could very well say, he's going to play Game 4, but I think the way the team has played over this season and last year in the regular season, they should continue the rotation to uh, keep both goalies fresh.
Right, right. And they get 2 nights off in a row before they play again. I was looking at the schedule there
Yeah, I believe they
today.
play
So
Saturday.
yeah, yeah. They made
Yeah,
it so the Leafs would play on Saturday. I think they
yeah,
get two
that's
nights off in a
no
row.
surprise there. They're going to want that game on a Saturday night. So,
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Well, I still have hope for my Leafs, but it makes it tougher when you're down 2-1. I'd much rather see them up 2-1, but it's not over yet. So I'll hope as long as there's still hope allowed. So.
mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's go on to the Western Conference, Mike. Now, I want to start off. The Oilers are playing against the Kings. Now, the Oilers had one heck of a game, first game. Then, of course, the second game, well, the LA Kings won an overtime series, tied 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about this? Now, I believe you picked the Oilers to win the series. I can't remember off the top of my head if you said it was going to be a long one or a short one. I believe you said long. I don't remember,
um,
though, actually.
if I recall, I think I said it's probably going to be a 6-game series.
6 games. Okay.
I maybe it was something different, but 6 games rings a bell. I still think that the Oilers will win in 6 games.
Okay.
I don't think the Kings are going to win the series. I just think that the Oilers have too much offensive firepower, and that's going to be the difference in the series. I think.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. And we're going to go on to the Canucks and the Predators. Now, we talked about them obviously a little bit earlier. Series tie 1-1. Is there anything else you wanted to add to this?
Well, I mean, I don't want to change my prediction, but as I picked Vancouver to win this series, I believe I picked 6 games in this one as well. Uh, might go longer than that based off of Demko being hurt. So,
Yeah, which is something we didn't know at the beginning. So,
exactly. I mean, these things happen. I still think the Canucks have what it takes to win the series, but they've really got to slow Nashville down because they've been like they were hot at the end of the regular season, and
they
it's
were.
continued a little bit in the playoffs. So they've got to find a way to neutralize them and get things going against Saros and get some more shots and score some more goals. And the big help would be to have Pettersson and Lindholm step their games up. So
Right, right. Okay. And now I'm going to go on to the Avalanche and the Jets. Now, to me, this is a really interesting series. It's tied 1-1. There's a lot of firepower here. These teams
oh
can really
yeah,
score. I don't know if anybody can play any defense, but they sure can score a lot of goals. Mike, what do you think? It's tied 1-1. What do you think?
uh, I I still think Colorado wins this series. I think 6 games. I believe is what I picked for this one as well. Um, it's just too much offense, and eventually, I think that Winnipeg is going to slow down a little bit. They've got the goaltending. I just don't see all these
Right.
super high scoring games continuing, though. I can see some 4-3 games, but the first game was like, oh my God, everybody's just scoring at will here. I mean,
Well, I was
Colorado's,
watching that game. I was watching that game in the first period, and it was just score, score,
yeah, yeah,
score, score. I was like, what the heck's going on here? It's
yeah.
crazy.
And I mean, Georgiev didn't look very good. I think he let in, what, 7 goals in like 20 shots,
Yes.
roughly. So, that's not going to happen every game. He's going to, if he doesn't get it going, they'll switch goalies. I mean, the other goalie they've got, Anunin, he was just as effective, I think, for the most part of the regular season when he got the chance to play. So I think they could switch their goalies in and out if they needed to. But I still think Colorado is going to win this series. I don't see anything changing there.
Okay. And last but not least in the Western Conference, and I left this last on purpose, Mike, because I wanted to get into them a little bit deeper. The
Yeah.
Dallas Stars are playing the Golden Knights. And of course, the Golden Knights are up 2-0. Mike, you said that you thought Dallas was going to win. I mean, you thought that they could come out of the Western Conference even. What's going on here? Is this a Tampa Columbus from 2 years ago? Is that what's going on here in the first round?
I wouldn't compare it to Tampa and Columbus only because Columbus was a huge underdog to win that series, whereas this one is a little more evenly matched. I mean, Vegas didn't have a great regular season, but the team is supremely talented. So to have them winning right now, it's not a surprise. I did think, and I still think that Dallas has enough depth that they can get back into this series. It really hurts for them to lose 2 games at home right off the get go. So it's going to be a difficult climb to get back into this. But I mean, they've got a talented team. All they need to do is get it going. The last game, it was a close game, so I mean, 2-1 could have gone either way.
Right.
But you can't. It's going to be a lot tougher now. You can't give Vegas 2 games and just kind of assume you're going to win. Like, Vegas is a talented team. If I'm wrong on a series, this is the one I'm going to be wrong on. I think I'm going to be pretty good on the other ones. So we shall see what happens in the next couple of games.
Who do you like out of those two teams? What goaltending do you like best?
I like Dallas's goaltending. I think Oettinger is a top tier goalie. Um, as far as Vegas goes, I mean, Aiden Hill, he won them the cup last year, but until last year, he was never known to be high end goalie. He was, in Arizona, and he wasn't having a great season. He was with San Jose, so he was on some struggling teams. But I mean, can he do it twice? Maybe. But I think that Ottinger is the better goalie between the two, and I don't even think that it's close. So, but
Okay.
it's playoff hockey. You never know when a goalie gets hot. Anything can happen.
And we've seen goalies get hot at certain times of playoffs and shut teams down and win series and sometimes win multiple series.
Hmm.
And you're thinking, what is this? What's going on here? And it's just the goalie is so hot. And then the team, they start to second guess themselves. They stop shooting from good positions and wait too long, and
Right.
adds to the mess that they've created. And it can happen for sure. So now we've gone through all the teams here. Is there anything else that you wanted to add to tonight's discussion?
Well, I mean, we got some bad news today there. Bob Cole passed away, so I'm not sure if you were aware, but
I did not know. I got home from work and logged on, and I did not know.
yeah,
Well, that's sad to hear.
so we lost Bob Cole today, who was one of the best announcers for hockey games. Like, he was a staple on Hockey Night in Canada for so long. I mean, we grew up watching him and listening to
We
him,
did.
so it's I just want to throw that in there. Sad to see him go, but yeah,
Well, well, rest in peace, Bob. And we are very glad for the years that you gave us because they were tremendous when you were calling the games. It was spectacular.
yeah.
So, all right. Well, with that, then, Mike, I think we'll leave it there. So now, whatever we got wrong, folks, leave the note in the in the chat, or let us know where we went wrong because I'm sure I did lots wrong tonight. So, like, share, subscribe, and like I said, comment and let us know where we went wrong. All right. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Bye.
Thank you. See you later.